Really destructive. Not really. I think it's pretty good. Flat damage increase is pretty nice. Wild Axe's cast point reduced from 0.5 to 0.4 seconds. That's pretty nice. Wild Axe's is quite a long animation, so now this is slightly faster, pretty good. Call the Wild Boar attack point from 0.633 to 0.5. So this means when you summon the Wild Boar will be attacking at every 0.5 seconds. So it's basically hit, 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 hit. That's fairly nice. I think that's very good. And when you have two Wild Boars, you could probably hit very, very fast. Yeah. Or if you time perfectly, you probably hit every 0.25 if you get them just the right momentum. That is pretty good. That is pretty damn good. So he'll be able to gank mid laners. As a mid lane, he'll be able to gank quite a lot better. As a last hitting tool, probably the boars will be able to last hit a little bit more efficiently now, if you're using it that way. Ganking will be pretty good as well because it applies the debuff more often. It's pretty nice. So slight buff to Beastmaster. Bloodseeker, Thirst bonus scaled from 100 to 25% HP instead of 100 to 0. Not sure what that means. I'll find out. Let's find out for us. Bloodseeker. See, some of the heroes I don't really play that much, so it's sometimes you gotta refresh your memory. Right, so Thirst enables you to sense heroes with below a certain threshold, and right, so wow, okay, so this is actually a buff to Bloodseeker. This is a buff because last time Thirst, the bonuses of movement speed. Is there a damage buff as well? Yes, there's a slight damage buff. But that's flat. So movement speed bonuses scale exponentially based on the opponent's HP. So because of this change from 100 to 25 instead of 100 to 0, the distances is shorter, so his increases in movement speed is faster at each level. So the more HP people are losing, the faster he'll get to his max movement speed because the cap is at 25. That's really nice. I think that should have been there. From my experience playing Bloodseeker, when I see a lot of people getting low HP, I only tend to notice when they're about to die because the movement speed is very obvious then. Most of the time it's quite hard to tell. Now that it's a lot better, it'll be really, really good. It's not a lot better, excuse me. It's slightly better. I think it'll be good for his movement speed to be able to gank and get to where the fight's going on more quickly. That's a quite nice buff. Thirst Vision threshold reduced from 30% to 25%. So basically, your vision of a hero, you basically have true sight of a hero under a certain HP threshold. Now that's changed to slightly less. I don't think that's a big deal though. I think it kind of balances his flat movement speed increase. That's pretty good. Right, Bounty got a lot of. I think for me, Bounty overall got a nerf. So let's just see what we think. Bounty Hunter intelligence growth increased from 1.4 to 2. It's not too big a deal. Shuriken toss damage rescaled, losing 50 damage at level 1, 25 damage to level 2, 50 damage at level 3, and 20 and whoa, no, excuse me, buffed at every level, buffed 50 plus at level 1, 25 plus at level 2, 50 plus at level 3, 25 plus, no, 50 plus at level 4. So his damage increased for Shuriken toss. That's really nice. Shuriken toss cast range reduced. I think that's a big nerf. It's really nice to be really far out of range and throwing that Shuriken toss to get the last hit, especially when you're chasing on the tower or they're about to TP, etc., or blink. That's really quite harsh. So I think this is like kind of balances it out. There's one more. There's a couple more actually that affect Shuriken toss. Mana cost increased at all levels. No, increased at first 3 levels and is slightly less at the last level. So okay, so basically it's trying to ask you to level Shuriken toss more the early to get to the efficient kind of level. Because at level 3, you're only spending 5 more mana to get the same kind of utility, and you're getting 50 more damage at level 3 as well. So yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's basically asking people to stop leveling Shadow Walk, because Shadow Walk was bad. Like, you can get it at level 1, they buffed it in the last patch so that it lasts just as long, slightly longer than its cooldown. And I see a lot of people maxing Shadow Walk. for the bonus damage right click. I think the Shuriken Toss definitely outweighs that because the bonus damage from the right click was only 125. The Shuriken Toss is now almost 300 damage. That's almost more than double. So it's kind of like hoping people will look at it and go, yeah, definitely gonna have to get Shuriken Toss at level 3 when I'm level 6. So you need 3 in Shuriken Toss, 1 in Janada, 1 in Shadow Walk, and as an example. So that's pretty good. I like that. I like that change. Track Shuriken Toss bounce range increase from 900 to 1,200 units. So yeah, basically what they're saying is, instead of coming up to or walking all the way up to heroes and throwing the Shuriken Toss, beforehand you used to have to throw it from. Beforehand you'd be able to throw it from quite a far distance onto heroes and it'll bounce quite easily. Now, because of the shorter range, you're gonna have to kind of think outside the box. So tossing it onto a creep will hit the tracked unit as long as they're in range of that 1,200. So that's pretty nice. You can aim for a creep and that should latch to the next person who is tracked. So I think that's really cool. It's kind of asking for more next level plays. I think overall that Shuriken Toss is kind of I think it would be a slight buff. The range and the mana cost nerfs aren't as damaging as the damage increase and the range increase. So I think it's really good. Would be a lot more useful in team fights because now you're able to throw it out a lot more easily. You come out when everyone engages. If you get all those tracks beforehand, for example, you throw it out on the nearest creep or nearest treant or whatever summon unit is next to you. It'll bounce onto that, and in a 1,200 AOE, 1,200 AOE, bounce to everyone. Got that mini stun going, got the damage going, which is huge now. It's 50%. No, excuse me, not 50%. 50 damage more on all levels, almost all levels. Pretty much good. Pretty much. Track now shows how much gold the enemy is carrying in the debuff tooltip. Another thing, it's kind of like a utilitarian buff that should have been there before, but it kind of helps the game be more easily understandable. Hello, Boulez. You're the first person here to comment. Nice to see you. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Yeah. Haven't done this in ages. Right, so, yeah, track now showing that debuff tooltip. Pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Brewmaster, like the most minute of nerfs ever. Primal Split units no longer provide a bounty when killed. So this really isn't a big deal. Sometimes you get killed. You can kill the Primal Split bears and you get gold for it. Nice. Now you don't. That's it. Don't know. Not much else you can see from that. Yeah. Moving on. Oof. Bristleback, movement speed reduced from 295 to 290, so slightly slower. Vicious Nasal Goo, armor reduction rescaled from 1.122 to 1.4, 1.8, 2.2. So at every level, he reduces slightly more armor. I think that's I just have to point out how Ice Frog works. Every nerf and buff, it kind of balances each other. So Vicious Nasal Goo, there is the slow, and now there is the armor reduction. The armor reduction is slightly more increasing, but the movement speed of Bristleback himself is slightly slower. So they're kind of showing that you want to kind of use Vicious Nasal Goo more and not rely on Bristle's right click as he moves, because he's not as fast as before. It's pretty cool. I'm adorable. Wow, never heard that before. Thank you. Right. If you really like me, give me that follow. That'd be cool. Right, moving on. Come on. 22 minutes in. We gotta keep going. We're still at B. For fuck's sake. Okay. Broodmother, incapitating bite. No longer unique attack. They put attack twice. Why? Did anyone notice? Am I only noticing this now? Attack is twice. Unique attack modifier. Is that right? No, I don't think so. Well, so incapitating bite used to provide mischance. Well, it does provide mischance, and it does provide a slow at all levels. No, I can't take off my shirt. Sorry. Now with this no longer being an attack modifier, this is really, really good, because now you can go Mask of Madness Ultimate and right click people, and you will basically lifesteal a third of your health every right click. That's beautiful. Insatiable Hunger attack buffed. Yeah, so basically you pop ulti, you pop Mask of Madness, and your lifesteal now stacks with your Incapacitating Bite, because last time only Vlads could stack with Broodmother. Wasn't as amazing, but now she's going to have an amazing lifesteal. If you get a Mjolnir and a she can build Mjolnir now. She can build Diffusel's no longer an attack modifier, so it doesn't matter. Satanic you can build on her now and basically lifesteal like a full, like you can basically have 2 Satanics. You can get a Mask of Madness and an Ultimate, and basically have have a Satanic and then whatever. Basically, she's ridiculous. Her right click's going to be ridiculous in laning stage now, especially if she gets a Mask of Madness. Right, let's get to the best ultimate in the game with this new patch that I think of. It's fucking unreal. Centaur Warrunner. Return now triggers when attacks land rather than when they start. So same with the axe, you don't get the return damage until the attack lands actually. Last time when you're in the animation you get the damage. Added Aghanim Scepter to upgraded Centaur. Stampede reduces all incoming damage by 70%. Pretty good. Pretty damn good. 70% is freaking high. So if Lina's ulti does 950 damage, 70% of that will be reduced. So Lina's ultimate now reduced to about 200 damage from 900. Yeah, it should be right. About 200, maybe slightly more than 200, 275 maybe. That's like a stun. That's really good. Allows allies to run unobstructed through trees, cliffs, etc. Destroys trees. Friend gave me this tooltip, which I think is beautiful. If Earthshaker throws his Q in a line, makes that big block, Centaurs and Aghanims, your team can just ulti and run through that block and watch everyone else flounder behind. Pretty sweet. I think this is going to be huge. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful change. Chaos Knight, minimum damage is rescaled now from 150, 75, 100 to 75, 100, 125, 150. So, slight increase in damage, I think, from minimum damage. Did he really deal 1 damage before? I don't think so. There was a range. That's because Chaos Bolt does a range of damage based on how long his stun. I think they just buffed his damage in general. So that's pretty decent. He's already a broken hero. They're all broken. Just play the game. Okay. Clinkz Skeleton Walk cooldown from 20 to 17 at level 4. So basically a buff to Clinkz. Pretty good. Death Pact cooldown also reduced. Not at level 1, level 2 by 5 seconds, level 3 by 10 seconds. So yeah, that's really, really good. You know, Clinkz can now Death Pact about every 30 seconds rather than slightly over it. That's pretty good. Probably see a lot more rat from Clinkz in pub games because of that Death Pact. Can jump into the jungle, eat a creep, strafe, hit the tower. You guys defend, he runs back, Death Pact off cooldown, take another creep, go into the mid lane, etc, etc. Pretty good. Clockwork, Rocket Flare, increase speed, movement speed, so the rocket itself has a faster speed. I think that is really, really, really good. For the long range nukes, it's going to make it easier. For the short range, it's not going to be much change, but for the long range especially, there's going to be quite a big difference in the sniping basically. I think I like that a lot. So when during ganks, if you need an extra bit of damage, Rocket Flare will get there faster. You don't need to kind of coordinate as efficiently. Last time, if you want to gank with your team and you want a Clockwork Rocket to be there in time, you got to throw it out a little bit like early, kind of predict whether the gank is going to occur. From my experience anyway. Maybe because I don't pay attention. I don't know. So now Rocket Flare is going to be slightly faster, so you get there quicker, you can assist more in the kill, maybe, steal it, if I've seen before. Crystal Maiden, she's got Crystal Nova movement and attack slow, now scales from -30, now scales instead of being flat at -30 to up to -50, that's really nice. That's actually really, really nice. Crystal Nova slow duration also buffed from scaling to a flat 4.5. That's pretty good. Frostbite cooldown reduced by 1 second at all levels, and freezing